what do we have here? This is the brand new V5 Starlink dish. Now, we are one of the first people to get this dish. I'm looking very forward to cracking open this box and comparing this new dish to the old V4 or Gen 3 Starlink dish. Now, there's a lot of new updates to this dish, but I'm calling it right now. I think this dish is not gonna be worth upgrading for most people. Let's crack it open and I'll show you exactly what I find. So before I crack it open, there's 3 things you should know about this dish. This dish is small. It is significantly smaller than the older V4 or Gen 3 dish. The other thing is it has lower power consumption, hopefully fairly significantly. I'm gonna compare that side by side, let you know what I find. The other thing is there's no GPS in this version of the V5 dish. Now, that's important because it's not able to be used in motion. That is contradictory to what Tesla posted actually somewhat recently, where they're gonna have these V5 dishes in the new Tesla Cybercab. However, that version of the V5 dish is going to have a GPS in it. I'm gonna show you exactly what I find and let you know. Nothing quite like unboxing a new piece of technology for the first time. Always love tearing off these pieces. Nice, here it is, let's go. Gosh, it's so small. Man, it feels like kind of plasticky and lightweight for sure. That's like the first thing I noticed is how much lighter it is. Nice, piece is pretty easy to get off. Definitely made from a new kind of plastic, kind of a matte feeling. Definitely very lightweight. Okay, so obviously I have a V4, AKA Gen 3 dish right next to it. I want to compare those two. Obviously a lot smaller, and I'll call it 30% smaller, 20%, hard to know exactly, but yeah, it's a pretty sweet dish. I definitely noticed these little tabs on each corner on the bottom. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, so quite a bit smaller, it's kind of sweet. It seems like it's thinner, although I'll have to take some measurements. Definitely pretty close. These tabs feel like they are meant to attach something onto the bottom, but no accessories from Starlink yet. I like the black mat on the bottom, it looks kind of sick. So I'm obligated to compare the new V5 dish to the existing Mini dish. And the reason I have to compare them is because of the size. Look at this. They are so similar in size, it's natural to compare them. However, comparing the V5 dish to the Mini is actually the wrong comparison. Starlink has informally defined a standard dish as a dish typically for residential or non-moving use, and most important that the router is not installed inside the dish. The router is separate from the dish, and typically we've seen standard dishes powered by 57 volts. That just seems to be Starlink's kind of standard modus operandi. The Mini dish is a little different because it's powered directly by DC voltage, typically 12 to 48, and it has the Wi-Fi router built into the dish. Now, there's only been one version of the Mini so far. Stay tuned for a Mini 2. But there's only been one version of the Mini so far, and so this is the main spec we have to work with to show how Starlink makes a Mini dish. So really the new standard V5 dish is only for people who are going to be in one place all the time. It actually does not have a GPS built into the dish. So that means you can't even use it in motion, even if you wanted to. It also indicates that Starlink is probably not going to release updated roam plans for the V5 dish because there literally isn't a GPS chip inside of it. So as compared to the Gen 3 standard, as compared to the Mini, this dish feels significantly lighter weight. And to be honest, it feels more plasticky. And I can't say that it feels worse quality, but it definitely just feels light and very easy to move around. I'm guessing that's gonna help out installations, especially if you're on top of a house roof or something like that. It's gonna be easy to tote this thing up there and install it, which is obviously really good for installations. However, to be honest, this dish feels like it wants to be used in motion. It's lighter, it uses less power, it's certainly smaller. It's a bummer they didn't put a GPS chip inside it. I've got the V5 power supply and router here, and I've got the V4 power supply and router here. So first things first, you can see these routers are very different size. The older V4 standard router is much larger, this one's smaller. Theoretically, they have very similar specs. And this router is gonna give you almost the same speeds as this router. Functionally, the main difference is they have removed the PoE injector from the router. That's why this one's so big. And they have installed the PoE injector into the power supply. Now, the advantage of that is that you can power the dish and the router separately. What that means is you can easily use an aftermarket power supply if you want with the Starlink. I think that was a big complaint of V4 standard users, is that you had to use the Starlink router. Now, the Starlink router is a great router, no issues with it. However, aftermarket routers are super nice if you want to use a VPN or add different passwords, or there's just a lot of different functionalities you can do with an aftermarket router. So with the V5 setup, you can use an aftermarket router out of the box. That's pretty convenient, to be honest. I really dig the new V5 power supply here because these white indicator lights turn on when you have things properly connected. It's hard to tell in the video, but these are actually really bright lights. You can see very clearly. And then on the router, you can see the pulsing light. Now, the old router had that same pulsing light, but on the power supply, being able to see those is very, very convenient. When you disconnect one of the cables, the light will turn off, showing you that it's not properly connected. I really like that for ease of setup. So the question we're all asking, is it worth it to upgrade to the V5 dish? To be honest, I would say no. If you have an existing V4 Gen 3 dish, it's really not worth the upgrade, especially if you're in a stationary location where you're not going to be moving with the dish. If you have the Mini and you're on the go, I would definitely say it's not worth it because the Mini is powered direct, or can be powered directly from 12 volts and has the router built into it. This doesn't have a router built into it. If you're waiting to get a new dish for stationary residential use, it might be worth waiting until the V5 comes to your area. But to be honest, the V4 is an excellent dish and it gives you flexibility to move around and use it with a roam plan if you ever want, because it has a GPS built in and there are roam plans available for the V4 Gen 3. In terms of installation of the V5 dish, sure, it's a little lighter, it's a little smaller. Maybe that makes installation a little bit easier, but in reality, if you're at a house, you have pretty much all the space you could ever want, and power consumption probably is not going to be a massive concern if you're powering it from your house. As far as the routers go, it really seems like the Mini router is just as good as the standard Gen 3 router. It's physically smaller, and I always think when I see something smaller, I'm like, oh, it must not be as good, or something like that. But I think what happened is really a lot of the components from inside the Gen 3 standard router went inside of the power supply here. So realistically, the router size is probably about the same. If you look at it that way, the actual router device in here versus the router device in here, to be honest, probably a pretty similar size. So I don't really think it's worth upgrading to this router either. It's always hard to know about new hardware, but it seems not worth the upgrade to the V5 dish if you currently have a V4 dish. If you've got a really old dish, sure, the V5 could be a great upgrade, but in my opinion, it's really not worth upgrading. Okay, so I've got both dishes here, they're powered on, and my goal is to give an apples to apples comparison. Now, I'm not saying that this is a fair comparison for a Starlink. To be honest, I've got a building right here, it's very tall. We're probably gonna see some pretty heavy obstructions. My goal is to compare speeds and compare obstructions. My goal is to see how well each dish handles obstructions, because that's a big factor that would not be very obvious in the V4, the V5 dish. The V5 dish might handle obstructions better. To be honest, I've got my money on the V4 because it's a physically larger dish. In my mind, it's gonna be able to handle obstructions better. Okay, well, color me very surprised. I did not expect this because my understanding was the V5 dish does not have a GPS inside of it. I did not think it would be able to know where it is physically located. So, not able to do a speed test right now. That'll have to come in the future. However, I am still remaining very curious about how these will perform, especially with obstructions in the way. So I guess we'll have to do that in a different video. Okay, this is very interesting. Mid filming this video, I learned something that I did not expect about that dish. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. As always, I enjoy making these videos and having discussions in the comments. So if you have any questions or need a clarification on something, drop a comment below. Also, subscribe to our channel. I make videos like this all the time, comparing new stuff, seeing what plans are best, how to install. So Subscribe and you'll get notified about new videos we make and new updates we release. See you later.